In this video, let's talk about all things virtual production with Vue. All right, real quick, this is Video Brand. Special thanks to our sponsors for helping make this NAB coverage possible: Metricool, Massive, Adspective, Vestigit, and OpenReel. All right, now back to the video. All right, what's up? I'm here with Jamie from Vue, and we're gonna talk about virtual production.
Let's talk about it.
All right, so kind of give us an overview first of what Vue does.
Sure. So Vue is the world's largest network of virtual production studios. We're multifaceted in things that we do. So the most easily identifiable thing about Vue is that we have 4 volumetric LED sound stages of our own: Tampa, Orlando, Nashville, and Las Vegas. Our smallest volume is about 100 feet long by 17 feet high. Our largest stage is about 154 linear feet by 26 feet high. And we host virtual productions, commercials, feature films, anything few and far between, even events, right? And then outside of that, we do pop-up LEDs, so we can go anywhere and host a virtual production in the right facility and then bring it down home, as well as we're integrators. So we've been building these stages down for 2 years. I think we've built about 18 to date. Our number one client that we're most excited about is higher ed, colleges and universities. So now virtual production is being taught to the next generation of virtual production filmmakers and designers. We're also designers, right? So we have Unreal designers and operators on staff and a VAD, a virtual art department. And then lastly, yesterday was the launch of our software. And the whole point of our software is to make virtual production more efficient and easily accessible to the filmmaker.
Cool. So can you go a little bit more into the software? Like what does it kind of do, and what sort of point does it solve or help in like the virtual production process?
Yeah, well, it's all about just making the process more easier to the artist and to the filmmaker. And so, as of now, and as we've been getting into this, it's been very centralized. There's only one designer and there's only one operator. And, yes, that's kind of the process it goes because it is a very specialized process. But now we're trying to make it even a little bit faster. So we have software like Cuebric. Sorry, that's from Showrunner, excuse me, not Cuebric. Showrunner is where you can run everything from the floor. You can control your lights, you can control your environment, you can control all sorts of things. That just makes it a little bit faster and easier. And then there's things like Cuebric where you have generative AI. You can talk to it using ChatGPT, and it begins to create 2.5D environments for you to begin iterating. We have pre-vis software with SceneForge. So now you can create those pre-vis scenes of where, what's going to be virtual, what's going to be practical, where your lighting is going to be. Again, all in efforts to make the whole virtual production process more accessible, less scary to people who have never done it before, and ultimately, more accurate and indistinguishable from, non-reality to reality.
Cool. So I'm curious kind of about this ChatGPT integration. So you're saying you can kind of like type out descriptions or what you're looking for, like how you're trying to build your scene.
Yeah.
And it can start building that?
It can cook it up for you. It's really neat with generative AI. So you might say something like, hey, I want to see, a mountain range in the background with a forest on the left, a stream running through, and a meadow on the right. And it's going to cook up, some type of generative AI, just like we've all kind of seen happen online. And while you can't necessarily get in there and start modifying those things that are created in the meantime, you can just give it a new prompt if you want to change it. Like, hey, I want less trees on the left, or hey, and then now you get a little bit of parallax with that 2.5D, but now it's just a way that you can get things up and moving quickly.
Yeah, cool. And so that sounds like, is that kind of a replacement or add-on if you like, instead of building out a huge set in Unreal, or if you're not like a designer for Unreal, you can kind of start just typing out prompts and building sets through text and to get access.
And what it comes down to is, something that we've been noticing and seeing is that, technology is being increasingly decentralized. Studio rentals is a race to the bottom. Who's gonna be able to rent it for the cheapest? But eventually, we believe that virtual production and this type of stuff is gonna be happening in people's homes. We share the same laptops and technology as the world's richest people. We wear the same clothes as the richest people. So why not to say in several years that people at home are gonna be doing the same thing on their phones? And so we're just trying to take the first step into making it easier for the common person, the common filmmaker and artist to now begin creating those digital assets that they can just start creating now and quickly.
And someone looking to get started in virtual production, maybe not largest of budgets, but like what are some things they should consider, or factors they should consider for someone trying to get into entry points into virtual production?
Yeah, right now the biggest competition to virtual production is not other virtual production studios. It's on location filmmaking. Why is somebody going to come in and shoot interiors of a house when they can go in and shoot it out themselves. And in some instances, that makes a ton of sense. But as all of us know, as filmmakers, producers, directors, man, the location scouting, the permission, the company moves, all the things that go into filmmaking, when you really begin breaking things down, it really is less about do you have the budget for or not. Is this the smartest way to be a filmmaker? Or can we make something more creative? Can we change the scene differently than while we were on practical? We probably couldn't have done that. While yes, cost is always a factor, I think something to really be thinking about, something I say the 3 C's of virtual production filmmaking is filming in a volume, filming virtual production, allows you to push the creativity. It gives you total control, which in essence gives you confidence. All filmmakers have gone to bed the night before of a commercial for weeks and months of planning, and you checked everything off your list, but of course there's gonna be a couple things that you just can't control. Is the weather gonna cooperate the next day? Is there gonna be traffic to and from your location scout? Is the phone gonna ring? Are the extras gonna mess it up? All those things you can have total control of in your volume, and on a high risk, high profile commercial, when you can now push that creativity and hold the control, it's a really great turnout.
Yeah, some great points. If you're like getting started in virtual production, you feel like kind of like green screens, like the launching pad to then before you start building volumes or investing in LED walls.
Yeah, green screen is always like a good starting point. You know, I think all of us, the easiest way to translate virtual production is it's solving the same problem that traditional green screen filming always did. You're putting a person or an object in a place that it never was to begin with. But now you have lots of problems, depending on your hair, depending on if you wear glasses, depending on if there's a reflective space, depending on a bunch of things. It either could really ruin the end process or make it a lot longer and clunkier, especially in post-production. And so, you know, should you get started with the green cyc? You can, because the same technologies of Unreal Engine and all that kind of stuff could still play in the post world. But with what we're seeing, you know, virtual production really just gives you the immersion that you can't get otherwise. And also at the end of the day, I just really want to say that virtual production is not a replacement for on location, nor is it really even a replacement for green screen. It's a tool. You know, we are a production tool, and so I think that I've seen lots of productions where you can have all three, green, virtual, and practical, all in the same final piece.
All right, thanks for watching. Be sure to check all of our NAB videos over here in our NAB playlist, and be sure to hit the subscribe button for more videos like this. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next episode.